it turns out that we may be closer to the end of Adam Cole's days as a wrestler under the WWE banner. Of course, longtime NXT regular. He's done everything in NXT.
Did you say he was a regular?
I said he was a regular.
Wait a minute. You mean he's irregular? What does he have, Crohn's disease?
Oh, boy. Well, anyway, he's been in NXT for a very long time. He's done everything there. And now word has come out that his contract is about to expire. No one's saying, and he's ready to renew. So, of course, seeing that his girlfriend, I don't know if she's a fiance or just a girlfriend, I forget, but Britt Baker in AEW.
I believe that. Didn't we see pictures of her nuptials at one point
I don't know. Well, congratulations.
Well, that was a mistake. That was on her Christmas card, and the photographer didn't notice when they sent out the pictures of her nuptials. But I think they got married.
I don't know.
At some point, I don't know.
Well, either way, his significant other is working in AEW. A lot of his friends from Ring of Honor and beyond, from Pro Wrestling Guerrilla and beyond, they're in AEW. A lot of people think Adam Cole is certainly going to be headed there. What are your thoughts about the news that Adam Cole's about to have his contract come up?
Well, now the scuttlebutt that I heard was that his contract did expire in July, but he agreed to an extension I guess finish this thing with O'Reilly, which because they're longtime close personal friends, as Mean Gene would say. So his extension would be coming up very shortly, and that he can still re-sign or he could still not sign, and therein lies why he's got the marketing leverage apparently. But from what I understand, also a lot of people saying it, that the WWE office was surprised that his contract was ending this summer. They thought it was the end of the year, and someone tied that to potentially being one of the reasons behind Canyon Seaman's departure, the illegitimate nephew of Seaman Art Thomas. So, I mean, it's happened before. Talent relations fuck up of some description. Wait a minute. What do you mean? He's the champion and his contract expires tomorrow or whatever. That may have been something, but yeah, it's not looking good. Well, let me say this. It wouldn't be looking good that he's going to stay, except that, goddamn, he's almost got him over a barrel now if they want to keep him at all. But the question is, how much do they want to keep him if they've just, said goodbye to some of these other high-priced guys, even though Cole can outperform all of them.
Yeah, why would he stay?
And again, as you mentioned, he's been in NXT since he's been there. And it's not like they've, broken their necks to bring him up to the main roster when his group was dominating the place and they were the best thing on the show and sometimes the only thing worth watching. And was the star of that group. And he's got everything except size. He can talk. He can work. He looks fantastic. He's got all of the tools. He's got the psychology. He's got the experience. He can have a great match. And he can get shit over, too. Angles, etc. So jealously, I wish they would try to back the Brinks truck up to keep him so we would continue seeing him work with people that are going to take this shit. Yeah, even Harley back there just went. I don't know what in the world it would look like if Adam Cole ended up in AEW playing with the children. It would bring out all of the worst instincts he might have and nullify most of his professionalism.
Well, those are all his friends, and he was on their stupid little YouTube show years before he went to, or right before he went to NXT, actually. So he's going to do all that stuff, but he's never going to get to the main roster under Vince, and he's never going to be pushed under Vince. He can go make a lot of money there, be around his significant other, be around his friends, and who knows what AEW is going to look like in the next few months. Maybe we get Bryan Danielson versus Adam Cole. Maybe CM Punk versus Adam Cole. I'd like to see Adam Page versus Adam Cole. I mean, there's a lot of interesting matches. All of a sudden, assuming AEW signs all these guys that everyone's assuming they're going to sign, there's going to be a lot of interesting top-level talent there that it could change things. It could change the way guys are used and what they're doing because of who's there.
Okay, then do you think that finally Tony Khan is going to find the combination to the safe where his balls are kept and then say, okay, we've got real talent now, Pinocchio? Do we diminish or lessen the exposure of or outright send packing some of the dreck that we've had that got in the way of this show, which is what, honestly, a lot of their fans are fans of the dreck. Their fans literally like the dreck more than some of the meager amounts of good shit that they actually do that's professionally done and perpetrated the right way. So do they get rid of all the dreck that their fans like because it's a Monty Python show to focus on the real talent, or do they try to bring the real talent down to the level of the dreck?
Well, we haven't seen signs of people being cut, with very few exceptions. So we don't know. I think Tony Khan in the past said he was worried about cutting guys during the pandemic, because what are they going to do? And I thought that was kind of noble, but I don't want to say we're after the pandemic, because there's still a lot of things happening, but we're after the first pandemic, and right in front
of the second one, because now we actually have a vaccine that the Trump suckers won't take. So the 40% of people that put us in that fucking position are going to be the 40% of the people that allow us never to get rid of the fucking COVID.
So you mean to tell me if that was his thought then, now he's going to start cutting people? Where are they going to go work? Who are they going to go work for? Even Impact, who they have a working agreement with, they can only use so many people. New Japan can only use so many people. It'll be interesting, and I also think he likes a lot of these guys personally, and that makes it tough to get rid of them. It's hard sometimes for people who have never been a boss to be in that position, and you find that you like a lot of the people that are working for you, but eventually you have to make some changes, and it's hard, and not everyone's cut out for it. We'll see how Tony Khan handles it.
You just described, although this is on a much larger scale, but you just described Kerry Silken, the kindly owner of Ring of Honor, who after a number of years looked around and finally came to the realization, what am I running here? Make-A-Wish? And at some point, yes, you've sometimes, because you're running a business, you have to fire personal friends, which is one of the reasons Vince McMahon has been successful, is because he'll fire anybody. He's never actually fired a family member. He's run a couple off, but he'll fire anybody else and still be gobsmacked when they're unhappy with him. And, he'll wonder why. Well, it was just business. Meanwhile, Tony Khan is putting every goddamn outlaw mud show goof's kids through college because he can't not pay anybody to hang around with him.
Yeah, no one's going to talk shit either if they're still under contract.
Exactly.
There was a guy I knew, he passed away. Some people, if you're out there listening from the music industry, Mike Kleffner, fascinating guy, interesting guy, did some work for WWE. Did you ever meet Mike Kleffner, or were you already gone from WWE?
I do not remember. It seems like I would remember that name. Kleffner.
Well, he was a New York institution in the music industry, worked at the Fillmore East as a doorman, and then got in the door with the record companies, did lots of different things, promotion. He was in the Blues Brothers. He played the record executive. We tried to sign them at the end. But one of the stories about him that you would always hear from people is he always had a job. Because you realize if you paid him, he would shut up and stop running his mouth about you. So people would hire him so he would stop ripping them, and then that kept going on and on and on. I did hear that from several people.
See, people think that that's what I've been doing, but then the problem is I never accept any of the jobs. I just keep ripping because I don't care, and I just do this for fun.
But I think Adam Cole's going to end up there. I think it's a no-brainer for him. Unless WWE says, hey, we're going to give you all this money and guarantee it. We're not going to cut you like everyone else you saw us do that to.
Yeah.
And you can do what you want. And you can stay on NXT because you know what Vince is going to do to you. But they're not going to do that. And why would he want that? He's done it. He's done it.
You know what? This is the perfect environment for Sid to come along and ask for softball season off. This time he'd get it.
The Panama Sunrise. Where's he from?
Panama City, Florida.
How far is that from Jacksonville?
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if that's his if I met him, he's fucking in living in New Jersey, right? Or Pennsylvania. I don't know if that's his legitimate hometown. That's his gimmick hometown. The Abdullah the Butcher wasn't from the Sudan either, although he might be from Panama City. Cole, not Abdullah.
Right.
But there's no place far from fucking Jacksonville these days with airplanes and modern transportation.
Here's a question for you. With AEW having all this talent, and they've been bringing in a lot of talent, and now they're also starting to use some talent from New Japan, for instance. Do you have one roster with the introduction of the Friday show for everything, or do you try to split it up a little bit?
Oh, good God, no. Because then, those fucking happy horseshit fans, if they split their rosters into two, then they'd have double champions for everything like the guys on the other channel have. They've got triple champions and then champions for the other countries. No way. And by the way, this Friday on The Experience, we're going to go down the AEW roster and separate the wheat from the chaff as we have with the WWE roster. Or this Saturday, I should say, not Friday. But no, goddamn, if you've got this much momentum and you've got a new show debuting and you've got these big events that they better, even though they're, well, now these live events, are they all television tapings also, or are some of them just house shows? The tennis stadium, are they doing TV there?
I believe so. I think the only house shows, there've only been a couple of house shows. There was one in Jacksonville that they taped, but they didn't air it.
Okay, but the point is, basically with all of these new mega names coming from the WWE and et cetera, make you the best roster you can make out of everybody you've got, eliminate a lot of the crap that they end up sticking on YouTube to begin with, and concentrate on those guys. Don't split your talent now to where they're only going to be on this TV show or that TV show. What the fuck? You can actually, not only should they don't feature all the talent they have now that's worth featuring, because everything has to go 25 fucking minutes. When you get these kids in the ring, they can't stop playing. They can't have a 5-minute match to give a guy a win and let him say something and not be attacked or kidnapped or shot into space or whatever. They ought to concentrate on using all the big top talent they've got now. And maybe they can have some fucking shorter segments on their 2-hour show so you could get more people exposed and you wouldn't have those long marathons. And on the hour show, recap what went on the 2-hour show, which is your mothership. It's your main program, and feature some of the new talent newer talent that you're featuring on top and trying to get over. And you would have plenty of time. They keep saying, oh, we've only got 2 hours. We don't have time to expose all our talent. Yes, you do. If you don't let every single one of them go 20 fucking minutes every goddamn time they get out there. Their girls' matches eat up 15 fucking minutes. It's national TV. Among the many other things that Vince has lost track of that he used to teach people, I already knew this because it was beaten into me from the territories. Every time you get a promo, you know how much 2 minutes of TV in fucking New Orleans costs? But it was beaten into everybody's heads. Hey, hit your times. You know how lucky you are to be given this time. 2 minutes to talk on national TV, 5 minutes to have a match on national TV. Every minute counts. It's $100,000 for 30 seconds on his fucking network or whatever. So don't go over and don't drone on and don't fucking wear out your welcome. Of course, sometimes guys going the amount of time they were told to still wore out their welcome. But not usually on television. Most of the time it was either on pay-per-view or fucking in house shows. Nevertheless, just streamline this shit and get your top guys. And I saw something about this. They said they actually have, somebody on Twitter or the internet said this, that they actually have somebody going by these minute by minute or quarter hour ratings, and the people that they feature most on the show are the people that have gotten the biggest quarter hour ratings in the past. God damn, that's fucking ludicrous. Don't you understand that you are writing the song that plays on the radio? You're going to tell the people what they fucking like based on how you feature these people. Of course, if you've got the ingredients of a tasty cake out there being exposed individually, most people are going to take a fucking cheeseburger over sugar. But when you put it all together by that measure and that criteria, almost none of the stars who became stars in wrestling would ever have gotten over, because you'd just be seeing the same fucking people most all the time. And in some cases, because of their weird audience, that's probably why we see Pockets all the time, because they think that his past quarter hours translate to this is going to mean business for us.
That's exactly why. That and the merch sales.
You take a team like FTR, when you signed them, they were the best tag team in the world, not after they've been beaten and devalued and demoralized by the Young Bucks. But you take them, and the first time you put them on television, they're not going to get a big quarter hour because it's not a train wreck or a plane crash or a fucking car accident where people are rubbernecking like with Pockets or the Dwarf Dong Sucker or whatever the first couple of times. And you expose FTR by giving them wins and speak and give them credibility, and their quarter hours will increase over time. Not just FTR, but anybody, any talent that's ever been presented in any wrestling promotion. What was Mick Foley's first fucking quarter hour? Whether it be as Cactus Jack in WCW or as Mankind in the WWF or whatever, compared to what they grew into. So they're going by the ratings of the train wreck talent at the expense of building their own, which would increase their audience because somebody else would be being featured instead of the goofballs that a large segment of the wrestling fans don't want to watch this show because of. The point is, you don't worry about what the guy's first or second or third quarter hour rating is. You pay attention to it, and not only that, but also the reactions they get, and also the matches they have, and also the fucking ability they have to integrate with the other people on the roster. You measure that after you've brought them in and given them exposure and gotten them over, as the quote goes. Then if nobody cares, then you've fucking shit the bed. But just to fucking, of course, people are going to watch the dog fucking on the side of the road first thing, because that is visual, right? Oh, look at those dogs fucking on the side of the road. And I've said many times, sooner or later, people get tired of watching them dogs fucking. And then you say, well, shit, I wish I'd have used that time a little bit more judiciously to start something that would have legs. And I'll close with this point. The argument I had with Jim Herd. I said it was Arn Anderson and Sid Vicious, because Herd was all over Sid, all over Sid. I said, you'd rather have Sid Vicious than Arn Anderson, wouldn't you? And he looked at me. So why? I said, well, Sid Vicious will draw you $1 million in one night. And Herd said, well, what's wrong with that? I said, because then people have seen it and they never want to see it again. Arn Anderson will draw you steady money for 10 years. And he couldn't get that. Anyway, that's my closing thought on that matter.
Well, we were talking about Adam Cole to AEW, and you have to wonder if Adam Cole did go there and he was with his friends again. When he ran into the Young Bucks, would he preach the gospel of keeps?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Right Reverend Deuteronomy Skaggs with the latest from Keeps. No, the gospel of keeps? It's not gospel, it's proven fact. It is proven fact that many, many men in their lives will experience male pattern baldness. It will happen probably to you at some point, but Keeps offers a simple, stress-free way to keep your hair. There's convenient online doctor consultations, medications delivered straight to your door every 3 months, so you don't even have to leave your home. You know I'm in favor of that. And It's low cost. The treatment started just $10 a month because they offer generic versions of all the finest hair loss products. It's discreet packaging with proven results and more 5-star reviews than any of its competitors. Prevention is the key. We've said before, you can't grow hair on a billiard ball, but you can not only keep what you've got, but re-stimulate some of that recently departed to return and take up residence again. If you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss now, go to Keeps, KEEPS.com/JCE, and you'll get your first month treatment for free. Keeps.com/JCE to get your first month free. Keeps.com/JCE, and don't blame Keeps for Brian Last's poor transition.
I thought it was a good transition, and don't blame Keeps for anything. They're a wonderful sponsor that
they're blameless.
All of you fans should support immediately. But Jim, speaking of...
And as a matter of fact, 100% of the people who use Keeps do wake up the next day.